Hello everybody and welcome to the LTU Sports Report. I'm your host Dillon Morello. The Sports Report is presented by Lawrence Technological University and we are sponsored by Henry Ford Sports Medicine. So coming up on today's show, we continue with the season recaps for your favorite LTU teams. Here today we rewind on the LTU women's basketball team, starting with this season's very first practice report.
Perfect.
2020 has been pretty heavy. Bringing all these new faces in, we knew we really had to establish a positive and healthy culture. And that culture comes with high expectations and high standards, but at the same time, a lot of love. And if we've learned anything in 2020, it's about that. So for us as a staff, it's been about creating an atmosphere where it's high expectations, but at the end of the day, we're loving them, we're taking care of them off the court, and most often that transfers on court and mistakes become okay in an environment like that. And we're growing. It's been a special 3 weeks of practice.
The biggest thing this year is just focusing on growth. We have a lot of freshmen and a lot of new people just trying to learn our system and what we do. So the biggest thing is to come in each day and just get 1% better. We really preach that, and the biggest thing is to be better than we are the day before.
A big focus of ours this year is just to trust the process. I know we have a lot of young players. We have 7 freshmen coming in. So just kind of trusting the process, trusting the grind, trusting each other. It's a new, different team than it is last year.
I think the overall goal is to just win more games than we have losses. We want to get back to nationals last year because we didn't get to play that game. So just be bought in and be ready to go each game and each time we step on the court.
It's important to have fun in practice. We have so many practices throughout the year and we all enjoy basketball, so we want to have fun. But the important thing is to be focused when we're supposed to be focused and lock in. Our practices are super competitive and we get after each other, but it just makes us better in the long run.
The important thing at the end of the day is that we're having fun and we have passion behind what we're doing. We need purpose to be able to really reach our ceiling and even go beyond that. And I think practice is high expectations, high standards, but we're gonna have fun. We're gonna laugh. We're gonna, joke with each other and keep it light. But at the same time, when it's time to work, it's time to work.
Basketball is back at Lawrence Tech as the Lawrence Tech women's basketball team opens up their season versus the Storm of Rio Grande. Last season, the Blue Devils made it all the way to the NAIA tournament, but the pandemic shut things down. This year, LTU is looking to get another shot at a national title. Can they start their season off with a win? Starting in the first quarter, here's junior Kendall Fisher, who drives down the lane and kicks it out to sophomore Gabby Gaw, the first points of the game. The score is 12-11 Blue Devils at the end of the first. Moving along into the second quarter, score is 15-11 in favor of the Blue Devils, and here's the Wadsworth, Ohio native Kylie Beatty, who drills it from downtown. The Blue Devils take an early 7-point lead in the second quarter. The Blue Devils will then go on to carry a 32-22 lead into the half. Jumping into the fourth quarter, score is 54-52 in favor of Rio Grande, and it will be the senior Taran Klein who drives through the traffic and finishes at the rim. Game now tied at 54. Later on in the fourth, the Storm have stormed back to hold a 56-53 lead over LTU, but here is Fisher dashing down the lane for the and one play. Fisher would go on to make the free throw to tie the game. Lawrence Tech would go on then to win a thriller 76-66.
We just have a group that's ready to learn and ready to adapt. We have a lot of freshmen this year, and they're just bought in and ready to play and ready to, buy into the rest of the season and get the dubs.
We really focus on executing our game plans. So we do our scout, we watch film. We really want to lock into how we can play our best basketball and defend the opposing team. And the reason we played so well tonight is because we all bought into the game plan and executed it.
The biggest thing that I took away from this game is that we're young, but we bought into a game plan, game one, really well. We knew what they wanted to do based on last year, and again, we have a bunch of freshmen and 6 upperclassmen, and for them to buy into that game plan like that, it's been really special.
The Lawrence Tech women's basketball team traveled down to Fort Wayne, Indiana to take on the Cougars of St. Francis inside Hutzel Athletic Center. The Blue Devils won a hard-fought battle against Rio Grande for their season opener. Can they win their first game on the road? Starting in the first quarter, here's the sophomore Julia Huey, who drains a bucket from downtown to tie the game early at 5. Lawrence Tech would find themselves down 22-20 at the end of the first. Moving along to the second, it's junior Kendall Fisher who brings the ball up, finds her sweet spot, and nails the three-pointer, giving Lawrence Tech the lead early in the second quarter. Lawrence Tech would find themselves down 11 at the break. Coming back from break, LTU has gone cold from the field. However, here's senior Taran Klein with a strong drive and finish in the lane to stop the bleeding. LTU down 12 going into the fourth. Jumping midway through the fourth, turnovers have hurt the Blue Devils, but sophomore Gabby Go makes an easy bunny of the feed from Fisher to close the gap. Lawrence Tech would go on to drop this one 73-53.
We were really aggressive. We had to kind of watch out how aggressive we were because of how the game was being called, but if we bring that intensity every single game, we're most likely going to win more games than losses.
I thought we came out with a lot of heart and a lot of passion, and although, we didn't come out with the win, I thought it was a huge learning experience for us. We didn't get the win, but there was a lot of good things we did and a lot of things that we can learn from.
We did a great job. I was really happy with the game plan we put together. Saturday was kind of an experienced team against an inexperienced team, and it showed. You need to play against those good teams to get battle tested, and right now we're in the thick of that. We're growing by the day. We're buying into the system, to this team, to the vision. I was really proud of the fact that we continued to fight till the buzzer.
The Lawrence Tech women's basketball team is back on the road to take on the Foresters of Huntington. This young Blue Devils team has shown to be very relentless, with everyone buying into the system. Can LTU get their first road win of the season? Starting in the first, LTU looking to strike first, and it would be the three-point specialist, Julia Huey, who knocks one down from behind the arc for the first points of the game. LTU up 14-13 at the end of the first. Moving along to the second, here's freshman Gracie Mitchell, who finishes the fast break at the rim to extend the Blue Devils' lead to 3. LTU leads 24-23 at the break. Coming back from the break, jumping to the end of the third quarter, here's senior Emily Langoff, who drives through traffic and finishes at the rim. The Blue Devils take a 4-point lead into the fourth. Unfortunately, the fourth quarter would not serve the Blue Devils well, as they would go ice cold from the field, but junior guard Kendall Fisher would hit a three from way downtown to close the gap. However, Lawrence Tech would run out of time and drop this one 64-50.
We're back inside the Don Riddler Fieldhouse as the Lawrence Tech women's basketball team faces the storm of Trine University. The start of the season has been anything but easy for the Blue Devils as they look to snap a 2-game skid. Can the Blue Devils protect their home court? Let's find out. Starting in the first, it would be the freshman Sierra Harris, who drives hard down the lane and finishes between the two defenders for 2 points. LTU would trail 11-14 at the end of the first. Moving along to the second, here's the Ohio native Jade Ferris with a nice step through and finish for 2 points. The Blue Devils would trail at the break 25-24. Coming back from the break, the senior Taran Klein finds sophomore Gabby Go after a nice cut to the basket. LTU would trail by 23 going into the fourth. And jumping ahead to the fourth quarter, here's Klein running the floor and she hits the long two. Lawrence Tech would go on to drop this one 43-66 as the final.
Welcome into Blue Devils In Depth. I'm Jason Ross Jr., joined today by LTU senior guard on the women's basketball team, Taran Klein. Currently in this little pause right now before you guys start practicing again, like we were just talking about off camera there. Your head coach, Grace Howrigan, told me that during the summer, when we were in a bit of a similar situation like this, where the players couldn't actually get together to work out, you were one of the leaders when it came to organizing those workouts, those socially distanced workouts. Why was that important for you during that period?
We didn't get any of the summer together. And in the past, we've had camps, open gyms, just time to meet each other, play together, meet the freshmen, spend some time with them. So we had to do anything we could to make something work. So part of that was the socially distanced workouts. We did a lot of Zoom workouts and Zoom team building. And that was just a way for us to, as best as we could, find a way to have some time together before we went to campus.
You played 4 games so far, so it's a little bit different. What do the text messages, what do the phone calls on Zoom look like at the moment?
It's just all about remaining positive and having a positive outlook on what's going to happen.
How has your game had to evolve from year 1 to year 4?
My role freshman year was just to come in and play hard, play good defense, but just do those little things in order for us to be successful. And as I've come into my senior year, my role has definitely switched to, we need you to score,
We've already touched on your mentality off the floor, and as a senior now, that leadership component becomes very important. Where have you taken the responsibility as a leader with a lot of new faces on this team this year to really try to take that role and take pride in it?
We're in a unique circumstance where we have 7 freshmen and I think 10 underclassmen total and only 3 upperclassmen. So it's a lot of new people. And luckily, I was a captain last year as well, so I had experience in this role last year and this year, and that's just helped me a lot.
You and your fellow senior Emily Landgoff have developed a wonderful friendship over the years. What do you love most about that friendship?
Emily and I's relationship has been amazing, but it's so crazy to see how far we've come since then and what we were like freshman year compared to what we are like now. And how much we've just grown. Like, we feel like such adults now. I've just always had that competitive nature that I think that's gotten me to this point, but definitely a lot of help and inspiration from my dad for sure.
Love that. And Taran, I'll end on one question here. What has you most excited about coming back to school and getting back onto the floor with your girls?
Just the opportunity to compete together. I love every night we have a game and going out, every night or day, we have a game and going out and competing. That first minute before the game, when you line up for the national anthem and then you huddle and you're out on the court ready to play, it's just like a little adrenaline rush, and I miss that. I miss being prepared for a game and going out and just competing. So I'm definitely looking forward just to being back with everyone. It's like my second family, and I'm definitely missing that right now.
Well, Taran, you just gave me chills running through the pregame routine there. I can't wait to have it back as well. So thank you so much for joining me today. Always appreciate your time. Can't wait to watch you guys back in Southfield. And thank you to all of you for watching Blue Devils in Depth this week.
Thank you very much.
We're going to step aside for a commercial break to hear from our sponsors, but don't go anywhere because we have more outstanding highlights when we come back.
If you're a high school athlete with the dream of playing college sports, Lawrence Technological University wants you to recruit yourself. LTU offers over 24 varsity sports for men and women, along with several dozen world-class undergraduate programs. Athletic and academic scholarships are available in all sports, including its newest additions, competitive cheer and dance, e-sports, women's hockey, and men's and women's track and field. Visit LTUathletics.com and recruit yourself. Lawrence Tech, where Blue Devils dare.
Welcome back to the LTU Sports Report. A lot of team highlights already in the show. We have some more waiting for you, as well as some heartfelt senior night footage. Basketball is back at Lawrence Tech. The Blue Devils travel to Spring Arbor, Michigan to take on the Cougars. LTU was just 1-3 before the break, but after 10 weeks off, the Blue Devils look to get their season back on track. How would they fare? Starting earlier in the first quarter, LTU down 1 early, and here is freshman Sierra Harris, who cleans up the miss and finishes at the rim for an easy 2 points. Score now 3-2. Moving along, just over 2 minutes left in the half, here's junior standout Kendall Fisher, who launches a 3 from Mars to give the Blue Devils a 22-21 lead. We are all knotted up at 24 apiece headed into the break. Coming back from the break, both teams would continue to execute their game plan in a back-and-forth battle, but it would be the three-point master senior Taran Klein, who drains a 3 to cap off a 9-0 run for the Blue Devils to open up the third quarter. LTU leads 32-24. Jumping ahead to the fourth, Spring Arbor has stormed back and pulls within 2 with 16 seconds left in the second half. But it would be Fisher who leads all scorers with 20 on the night, hits 2 clutch free throws to seal the deal for the Blue Devils. Lawrence Tech would go on to win this one 58-56. We're back inside the Don Riddler Fieldhouse where the Lawrence Tech basketball teams look to get back to their winning ways. Tonight they square off against the Crusaders of Madonna University. Starting with the women, tonight LTU also honored starting point guard Kendall Fisher as she has surpassed the 1,000 point mark for the Blue Devils. Lawrence Tech is also looking for their first win of the conference season. Can they come up with the victory? Starting in the first quarter, here's senior Taran Klein with a nice pass down low to freshman Sierra Harris, who scores over her defender for 2. The game will be tied 10-10 at the end of the first. Both teams would exchange buckets throughout the second quarter, and LTU would take a 1-point lead into the half. Coming back from the break, we're going to jump to the fourth quarter where the Blue Devils would heat up, scoring 28 fourth quarter points, led by Klein, who drives hard to the basket for 2. Lawrence Tech would go on to win their first conference match of the season, 67-48.
The same thing stands, attention to detail, take care of the basketball, do the little things, box out, crash boards, know them, but at the end of the day, we got to do us, and we'll see.
More basketball for the Lawrence Tech Blue Devils, but this time they take on the Warriors of Indiana Tech. I-Tech has owned the WAC the last few years, but as of late, the Blue Devils have been handling business. Can LTU send shockwaves through the WAC and pull off this upset? Starting with the women. You can see the team chemistry unfolding right before your eyes as the Blue Devils have won 3 of their last 5 games. Can they get their conference record above 500? Close game is an understatement, as this game would start with both teams knocking down tough shots and coming up with big defensive plays. All led by point guard Kendall Fisher, who splashes a 3 from downtown to give the Blue Devils a 1-point lead heading into the break. Coming back from the half, the Warriors would catch fire and the Blue Devils just didn't have an answer, as they would be held to just 19 second half points. Fisher would finish the night with 21 points for the Blue Devils, and Taran Klein would hit her 1,000th career point. Lawrence Tech would go on to drop this one 47-63 as the final.
Challenges were some foul trouble. We definitely battled some foul trouble early. And then again, just kind of getting downhill and being fearless. They're a good team, and they took away a lot of what we wanted to do. We felt them everywhere we went today. So I think we just got to battle through that and learn to score in our second and third options and just get downhill and continue to be fearless.
We're back inside the Don Riddler Fieldhouse as the Lawrence Tech women's basketball team faces off against the Golden Eagles of Cornerstone. The Blue Devils enter tonight's matchup on a 2-game winning streak. The last time these two teams met, the Eagles handled business, winning by 19 points. With the Blue Devils seemingly clicking on all cylinders as of late, can they avenge the early season loss? Starting in the first quarter, it was all LTU as the Blue Devils' aggressive defense set the tone early in this game, allowing just 3 points. On to the second quarter, sharpshooter Taran Klein, who had a career night with 5 for 5 from downtown, torching the Eagles' defense. She would end her night with an outstanding 32 points. Lawrence Tech would then take a 23-point lead into the break. Jumping to the fourth quarter, the Blue Devils are on cruise control as the hot shooting sophomore Julia Huey went 4 from 6 from behind the arc. She would have 14 points on the night. Lawrence Tech would go on to win this one and secure their spot in the WAC playoffs with a final score of 87-64.
I just wanted to say good luck to the 2 seniors after they graduate LTU when they grow up and get big person jobs.
Just for the both seniors, I just want to say thank you for making my freshman year fun and as much as it could be with COVID. And I just hope that you guys have a great rest of your life as you become adults and graduate. And I'll miss you guys.
I want you guys both to know to always remember peace, love, and wear protective gloves.
To Taran and Emily, I have loved being your friend and growing our relationship together. I cannot wait to see what you guys do in the next few years after basketball. I will miss you greatly. I love you both so much, and I cannot wait to see what you do in your big girl jobs. Love you.
Emily and Taran, I'll miss you so much next year. It won't be the same without you.
Emily and Taran, you guys are great people and you're going to do great things in the world, and I can't wait to see where life takes you guys.
Thank you both to Taran and Emily. We appreciate you both, just the work you put into this program, and good luck as you go on in your life.
Taran and Em, you guys are amazing people, amazing role models, and we're gonna miss you so much. Best of luck in the real world with your big girl jobs, and hopefully we'll see you soon.
Since Taran and Emily are 2 of the best people, leaders, and basketball players I've ever met in my life, I know that you guys will go do big things in the rest of your world, continue to bring happiness to the people around you. So good luck to you both. I love you guys.
The women's basketball team is back at the Don Riddler Fieldhouse for their final home game of the regular season. Tonight, we celebrate 2 of Lawrence Tech's finest and Taran Klein and Emily Langhoff on their senior night. Both ladies have contributed to the success and growth of the current LTU women's basketball program, but most importantly, how these ladies carry themselves off the field is far more meaningful and important than what happens on the court. With that being said, Lawrence Tech would like to send a big thank you to Taran Klein and Emily Langhoff. With the celebration behind them, the Blue Devils faced off against the Northwestern Racers. The Racers entered tonight's matchup with a 2-10 record in conference play. Meanwhile, LTU has found their rhythm as the ladies in blue have won their last 3 games. Can they end the regular season on a high note? Back and forth these 2 teams went, big play after big play. The game will be tied at 23 going into the break. Coming back from the break, it would be the sharp shooting from the Blue Devils that would separate them from the Racers, led by the sniper herself, Julia Huey, who hit 5 threes on the night. Lawrence Tech would go on to win this one, 61-47 the final.
I think Julia was huge tonight. She stepped up and so did Gabby, and that's what we've been trying to do this last stretch, instilling that confidence in them, because once we leave, this is their team, and we're going to need people to step up like that, and they were huge tonight.
It's really exciting just having, it be senior night, and it's bittersweet, having to be the end of the road here for Taran and I, but, we came together as a team, pulled out that W, and honestly, that's all that matters at this point.
Heading over to women's basketball as they went to Ann Arbor for their opening round of the WAC conference to take on Concordia. Jumping right in, the Blue Devils were led by Kendall Fisher, knocking down 10 points in the first half. followed by senior Taran Klein with 7 points. But the Cardinals would take the lead 44-22 going into halftime. Coming out of the break, the Blue Devils were looking to bounce back as senior Emily Langolf would score behind the three-point line. The women's team, however, would also fall short in the end as Concordia won this one 77-66.
This season was really fun overall. We grew a lot as a team. We had 7 freshmen coming in, so there's a lot to work on, but I think overall with the shortened season and everything, we had a lot of fun and we grew a lot.
Our season, we were never too high and we were never too low. We were just always in the middle because we never knew what adversity was going to hit us. But that adversity just made us stronger as a group, and we just got really close throughout it all. We played like 15 games in the month of February. So we were always together, and I felt like our team chemistry and everything, we just really grew as people and as teammates.
I think a big difference is just the level of commitment, not only from yourself, but from your teammates and your coaches. Everyone here is playing because they want to be here, not because they felt obligated to in some way. So the passion, the intensity, and the drive between everyone is just elevated so much more, and I think that's what makes it so much more fun. I think your freshman year is going to be nerve-wracking regardless of the situation. This year was full of roller coasters and adversity, but at the same time, it only brought us so much closer, not only physically, but on an emotional and spiritual level as well. So I think it benefited us all so greatly, even though we were put in such a position that was so challenging.
This was a huge year for learning and growth and development and everything, because everything's brand new. Freshman year, you're just taking in as much as you can, and then I'm just looking forward to being more comfortable and being able to use the things that I've learned, kind of become a leader for the team, for the new freshmen coming in, be more comfortable and just keep working hard, doing good things.
Coach Grace is a phenomenal coach, and she just teaches us all these things that we can use to keep building ourselves as we get through the season. If you play your best basketball at the beginning of your year, then more towards the end of the year, teams know what you're doing, teams know how to guard you, stuff like that. So Coach Grace prepares us in a way that when we get to the end of the year, we are playing our best basketball and we are just striving for greatness, and that's what I think makes us so deadly in the postseason, is that that's what we're striving for.
Definitely beating Siena Heights was a highlight. We were definitely the underdogs in that game, and we just had a really good game plan, and we just worked together, and we ended up on top.
I think one of the highlights of the season was beating Siena Heights again, because they're one of our rivals, and just beating them on their home court was probably one of the best moments. Just knowing that our team loves and supports each other so much, we're there for each other every single day, it's just such a comforting feeling. It makes it so much easier to just play through games, play to the best of our ability. Even when COVID messed up our season, we were playing so many games so quick, it was so much easier having our teammates to help us get through that. I think for next season, we've all settled in a little bit, our chemistry is growing, and I'm just looking forward to working hard this off season with everyone and getting better for next season.
That's a wrap on this year's LTU Women's Basketball Season Rewind, a great campaign for the team where they look to once again build off of their success. So unfortunately, our episode has come to a close. I'm your host, Dillon Morello, and make sure to follow LTU Athletics on social media for more videos, photos, and articles. You can also listen to our Blue Devils In-Depth podcast on Spotify, Apple, or anywhere you listen to podcasts. Hope you enjoy the show, and I will see you next time right here on the LTU Sports Report.